What is up, fam? Welcome to another episode of Hansen Athletics Radio. It has been a minute, but going to be getting on these more frequently. Today's episode, we are going to cover 3 things that you need to know to get faster. I made an Instagram post on this. If you are not following yet on Instagram or Facebook, just hit up Hansen Athletics, give us a follow. Covering these 3 main things that you need to know if you want to get faster. We get athletes in all the time asking these questions. This is going to be great for coaches. This is going to be great for parents of athletes, and this is great for athletes themselves. What I wanted to share with you guys today is the 3 things that you can focus on as you go on and develop your speed as an athlete. Number 1, things that you need to improve is obviously force production. So this is going to be a very common thing that most of you already know. You need to get stronger to get faster. But then we have to look at the force production related to your mass or your body weight. So a lot of times we'll have athletes that we see are super strong in the weight room, but they actually aren't good at applying this force based on their mass or in the right direction, which we'll get to in a minute. So pound for pound, just think you need to be able to create high force and be able to do it smooth and energetically into the ground, and not be an athlete that might be strung under a barbell but has a hard time moving quickly. So this is a combination of what you would talk about when you say that's a powerful athlete. They might not be the strongest in the weight room, but they are very efficient. They're able to produce power quickly, and therefore we classify them on the field as a powerful athlete. Now, number 2, ground contact times. This is really important. So the ability to attack the ground and get off the ground quickly. That's what we just talked about a little bit. This is going to really come down to your development with your plyometrics, extensive and intensive. Extensive being your very small, low intensity plyometrics where we're just bouncing off the ground and work on elasticity in the ankle and the lower legs. And then your intensive is going to be the ones that people like to see on Instagram. So jumping really high and landing on the ground from a depth drop, hurdle hops, things where think about just more intensity, similar to a barbell. If you're loading up a bar heavy, that's going to be more intensity. The more force we're putting into the plyometric, the more intense it is. So you need to be well versed on both sides of those, with an emphasis again of creating force quickly. So that ties back into the force production. So if you're doing a lot of plyometrics, but you're spending a lot of time on the ground, odds are it's not going to carry over to what you're trying to do on the field. So keeping that in mind as you do that training. Number 3, creating force in the right direction. This is a lot of what we spend our time on with our athletes, teaching athletes how to properly sprint, but also to be able to create force in the right direction that works with their body versus against their body. I'd say a majority of kids that come in the beginning, probably 90%, are not good at this. And it has to do with technique. It has to do just with understanding of how to sprint. A lot of times we joke that athletes, are asked to sprint quickly. Coaches want them to be faster, but they've never really been taught how to get faster or how to run correctly and use all the force that they are producing up in the other 2 categories. Okay, I'm producing a lot of force based on my mass. My ground contact times are good. I'm getting off the ground quickly. I'm bouncy. Now, the last piece of that is it going in the right direction? So is it efficient? Is it something that's going to allow me to be healthy over time? Or is it something that is inefficient and is going to beat me up over time? So those are the 3 main things that you can definitely do to get faster, or thoughts that you should have in your head as you are going on this journey. I want to add a bonus one. So this is the bonus tip is being able to control your speed. So that's where agility comes in. That's where learning how to accelerate, decelerate, be efficient with your footwork. I'm not talking about agility ladders. We don't really love those, but working on your cuts and being able to go from different speeds, accelerate and decelerate. This is a huge separator on the field as well if you want to see carryover. And honestly, sport is played at a very certain mile per hour. We have some GPS data on that. So as we train our athletes, and we know when they get proficient enough in speed based on their sport, and then it's how can we control that speed and create fluidity within that so that they can be quick on the field and create separation. So appreciate you guys listening. Again, if you are interested in coming in for an intro assessment, schedule it on our website. We have online training. We have on-site training. We have a bunch of different education out. So definitely follow, the Instagram, the Facebook, the TikTok, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.